If you're collecting Social Security right now, something is happening in March 2026 that could change the amount of money hitting your bank account. And I'm not talking about some small policy tweak buried in a government document. I'm talking about real changes that are already affecting millions of people this month. Some of you are about to see more money show up than you expected. Others are going to notice your check looks smaller than it should. And you're going to want to know why before you start panicking. And then there's a group of people, a pretty large group actually, who have been getting shortchanged for years and don't even realize it yet. That last one really gets me because we're talking about people who worked their entire lives, paid into this system, did everything right, and the system quietly took money off the top without ever sending them a letter. So here's what we're going to do right now on Senior Security Updates. I'm going to walk you through every single thing that can change what you receive from Social Security in March 2026. I'm going to tell you how to confirm when your payment is scheduled to arrive, how to estimate what you should be getting, and what to do if the numbers don't add up. If you're on Social Security or you have someone in your life who is, you're going to want to hear every word of this. I'm Zane, so stay with me. If you are collecting Social Security right now, something is happening in March 2026 that could change the amount of money hitting your bank account. And I am not talking about some small policy tweak buried in a government document nobody reads. I am talking about real changes that are already affecting millions of people this month. Some of you are about to see more money show up in your account than you expected. Others are going to notice your check looks smaller than it should, and you are going to want to know why before you start panicking. And then there is a group of people, a pretty large group actually, who have been getting shortchanged for years and do not even realize it yet. That last one is the one that really gets me because we are talking about people who worked their entire lives, paid into this system, did everything they were supposed to do, and the system quietly took money off the top without ever sending them a letter to explain it. So, here's what we are going to do right now on Senior Security Updates. I am going to walk you through every single thing that can change what you receive from Social Security in March 2026. I'm going to tell you how to confirm when your payment is scheduled to arrive, how to estimate what you should be getting, and what to do if the numbers do not add up. And I'm going to cover the update that many people still don't understand, the one that could put meaningful dollars back into the pockets of people who were silently penalized for years. If you are on Social Security or you have someone in your life who is, you are going to want to hear every word of this, so stay with me. Quick disclaimer before we jump in. Senior Security Updates is an independent educational channel and is not affiliated with the Social Security Administration, SSA, Medicare, the IRS, or any U.S. government agency. For official information, always verify through SSA.gov or by calling Social Security directly at 1-800-772-1213. Let us get right into what is actually hitting bank accounts this month. At the beginning of the year, Social Security benefits got a bump called a cost of living adjustment. And you have probably heard people refer to it as COLA. Every year, the government looks at how much prices have gone up for things like food, gas, housing, and medical care. And then they adjust Social Security payments to try to keep up. For 2026, the COLA was announced as 2.5%. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Even when COLA is real money, it might not feel like it is going to change your life. And honestly, on its own, it usually doesn't. But here is how to translate it into real numbers so you can estimate what it should mean for your check. Take your monthly benefit amount from last year and multiply it by the COLA percentage. For example, if someone receives $1,800 a month and the COLA is 2.5%, that would be about $45 more per month. If someone receives $2,000 a month, that's about $50 more per month. And for couples who are both collecting, you can feel the impact across both benefits. Now, is that going to solve every problem? No. But if you are someone who has been watching grocery prices climb and prescription costs go up year after year, that extra money is not nothing. It can be breathing room, even if it is just a little bit. But here is where it gets tricky, and this is the part that catches a lot of people off guard. You might look at your deposit this month and think, wait, that does not look like the increase I was expecting. Where did the rest of my money go? And for a lot of people, the answer is Medicare. If you are enrolled in Medicare Part B, which covers doctor visits and outpatient care, that premium is often pulled directly out of your Social Security payment before it ever reaches your bank account. And when the Part B premium goes up, Medicare can take a bigger bite out of your check than it did the year before. The result for many people is still an increase, but it may not look as big as the COLA percentage suggests. That is why I always tell people, don't guess. Check your actual numbers. Now, let us talk about when your money is actually showing up, because this is another area where people get confused, and I completely understand why. Social Security does not send everyone their payment on the same date. They use a schedule that is based on your birthday. Specifically, the day of the month you were born determines which Wednesday of the month you get paid. If you were born between the 1st and the 10th, your payment lands on the 2nd Wednesday. If you were born between the 11th and the 20th, you get paid on the 3rd Wednesday. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st, your payment comes on the 4th Wednesday. There is also a smaller group of people who have been receiving benefits since before May of 1997. And if that is you, your payment often comes on the 3rd of every month, regardless of what day your birthday falls on. Also, remember this. If your scheduled payment date falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, Social Security typically sends the payment on the prior business day. So, sometimes it comes early, and that can make the calendar feel off even when nothing is wrong. If you are ever sitting there wondering where your payment is, the fastest way to confirm is to log into your My Social Security account at SSA.gov. That account is free. It shows you exactly when your next payment is coming, how much it will be, and your full payment history. If you do not have that account set up yet, do it today. It is one of the most useful things you can do to stay on top of your benefits, and it can save you a phone call that might have you sitting on hold for a long time. Now, I want to get into the update that matters most for a specific group of retirees and families, because this is where the biggest surprise increases can happen for the people it applies to. For years, there have been provisions in Social Security law that reduced benefits for certain workers who also received pensions from jobs where they did not pay Social Security taxes. These provisions are commonly known as the Windfall Elimination Provision, or WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, or GPO. If those names mean nothing to you, that is fine. What matters is what they did to people. Let me give you a hypothetical example that reflects what many families have experienced. Imagine someone who spent decades as a public school teacher and earned a pension through a state retirement system where Social Security taxes were not withheld. Then imagine that same person also worked earlier in life in jobs where Social Security taxes were taken out of every paycheck. They earned those credits, and they expected that their Social Security benefit would reflect that work. But under WEP, some people saw their Social Security retirement benefit reduced because they also had that non-covered pension. And under GPO, some spouses and surviving spouses saw their spousal or survivor benefits reduced, and in some cases eliminated because they also received a government pension from non-covered work. If you believe WEP or GPO has affected you or your family, here's what you should do in March 2026. First, log into your My Social Security account and check whether your benefit amount has changed from what you were receiving previously. Second, if you have not seen any change and you believe you should have, contact the Social Security Administration directly and ask what applies to your specific record. Third, gather your paperwork, know your pension amount, know the type of pension it is, and know your work history in jobs where you did pay Social Security taxes. Now, while we are talking about benefit amounts, I want to make sure we also cover something that a lot of people mix up, and that is the difference between regular Social Security retirement benefits and supplemental security income, which most people call SSI. These are two completely separate programs, and they work differently. Regular Social Security is based on your work history. SSI is a needs-based program for people with limited income and resources. SSI amounts and limits can change from year to year, and some states add state supplements. So the best thing you can do is check the current 2026 SSI numbers directly on SSA.gov. And if you receive both Social Security and SSI at the same time, those payments can come on different schedules. SSI payments are typically issued at the start of the month, while Social Security retirement payments follow the Wednesday schedule. Now, there is something else happening right now that I need to warn you about because every single time there is a big Social Security announcement, scammers come out in full force. They are paying attention to the same headlines you are. They know people are expecting changes to their benefits, and they use that to trick people into handing over personal details, banking information, and sometimes money. Here's how it usually goes. You get a phone call, a text, or an email. The person sounds professional. Sometimes the caller ID looks official. They tell you your benefits are being updated and they need to verify your identity. They ask for your Social Security number, your bank account information, or they try to pressure you with fear and urgency. Some even threaten arrest. So, let me be absolutely clear. The Social Security Administration generally will not call you out of the blue to demand your Social Security number, threaten arrest, or pressure you to act immediately. They will not ask you to pay using gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. If any of that happens, it is a scam. Hang up. Do not click links. Do not call back the number they give you. You can report Social Security scams to the SSA Office of Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov or by calling 1-800-269-0271. Now, let me shift gears because it is March, and for many people, tax season is front and center. A lot of people assume that once you retire and start collecting Social Security, that money is automatically tax-free. And for some people it is, but for a lot of people, especially those with other income in retirement, a portion of Social Security benefits can be taxable. The IRS uses something called combined income to determine this. Combined income generally includes your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus half of your Social Security benefits. For some filers, up to 50% of benefits may be taxable, and above certain thresholds, up to 85% of benefits may be taxable. This does not mean 85% of your check is taken. It means up to 85% of the benefit can be counted as taxable income, and then your tax rate applies. If this concerns you, you can look into voluntary federal tax withholding from Social Security, and you can also look for free tax prep services designed for seniors. Now let us talk about a situation that affects more people than you might think: collecting Social Security while still working. If you claimed retirement benefits before your full retirement age and you still have earned income, the retirement earnings test can apply. There is an annual earnings limit and it changes each year. If you earn above that, SSA generally withholds $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above the limit. If you are working and collecting and you notice your payments look smaller in March, this is one possible reason. And here is what many people never hear. In many cases, amounts withheld due to the earnings test are not necessarily gone forever. Once you reach full retirement age, SSA can recalculate your benefit to credit months when benefits were withheld, which can increase your ongoing monthly payment. And if you have already reached full retirement age, the earnings test does not apply in the same way. You can earn as much as you want from working, and your retirement benefit is not reduced due to earnings. So, let me pull all of this together for March 2026. Your COLA increase is in effect. Medicare premiums may reduce how much of that increase you actually see in your bank account. Payment dates follow the usual schedule, but weekends and holidays can shift deposits earlier. WEP and GPO issues remain a major topic for many retirees depending on how the rules apply to your record. Scammers are circling. And if you are working while collecting and you are under full retirement age, earnings test withholding can reduce monthly payments temporarily. The single most important thing you can do right now is check your numbers. Log into your My Social Security account at SSA.gov. Confirm your benefit amount. Confirm your payment date. Check what is being deducted for Medicare, if anything. And if something looks off, do not wait. Contact SSA and get answers. This is your money. You spent a lifetime working for it, and nobody is going to protect it better than you. If this helped, share it with someone who might need it. Subscribe to Senior Security Updates so you don't miss future updates about Social Security, Medicare, and benefits. I'm Zane, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.